friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Just putting some fuzzy socks on because my feetsies are cold. Wow, we make a baby. I've had quite the weekend. I did a rehearsal dinner on Friday, and then I did a wedding on Saturday, and then this afternoon, I did a baby shower. Did I call it a baby shower in my tweet, or did I call it a bridal shower? I hope I called it a baby shower because that's what it was. So it was a whole shebang. Yeah, I called it a baby shower. And now I'm here with you guys, and we have World Girl Sunday tonight. We have a special guest coming on who I'm really excited about because she is a family counseling, relationship expert, sex positive, body positive person, and it's mental health day. So we're going to ask her a lot of questions in regards to sex and sex having to do with your mental health and relationships and all of that. So that will be really fun. But on this show today, it's Sunday. That means Ask Me Anything. We haven't done one of these in a minute. So I want to hear from you guys. Go ahead and send in your questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Get in whatever it is you want to ask me. I also wanted to talk a little bit about The Closer, the Dave Chappelle special that dropped on Netflix that is causing the internet to have a conniption. I watched it and I have thoughts. So we're going to address some of those. And again, anything you guys want to go over. So feel free to send in those Streamlabs, those super chats, get me those questions as I sip my 15th tea of the day. I needed to be more caffeinated than I am. Very excited today because 2 different compliments came through while I was at this baby shower. Number 1, people were telling me that I look like Keely Jones, which I Instagrammed about because I think that's the nicest thing anybody could ever say to me. That not just that I look like her, but that I reminded them of her. People said, "You remind me of Keely Jones." And I was like, wow, I feel like I'm Keely Jones. I feel like if Lake Bell and Keely Jones had a baby, it would be me. Like I am the baby of Lake Bell and Keely Jones. That's how I feel. And I think that's how I need to start pitching myself. So that makes me excited. In case you don't watch Ted Lasso, Keely is the main star on Ted Lasso. And then this beautiful, lovely 70-ish-year-old woman, she might have been younger than that. It's hard to tell because a lot of people have a lot of surgery. But she came up to me and she said, "You look like Legally Blonde." I said, "You think I look like Elle Woods?" She said, "You look exactly like her. All you need is the little bag and the chihuahua." And I was like, thank you. Thank you for seeing me. I am Elle Woods. I am Keely Jones. Don't you ever forget it. That's my truth. Let me have it. So that's how I feel. Anyway, questions, comments, concerns, get them in. Like I said, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Dave Chappelle. I know that's a hot topic issue for a lot of you guys, but this wouldn't be Live at the Roxy if it wasn't for me talking about shit that I care about that makes other people pissed off. It's just the story of my life. Story of my life. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Let's see what's going on with you guys. And then I will get to a little bit to Dave Chappelle. But getting those questions, comments, concerns now. Starting with coming in from on this October 10th. Well, I'm going to refresh the stream. That's really sad. I don't think anything came in yet. I got really excited because I thought that it did. And so I said we were going to the Streamlabs early, but then nothing was there. And then it was just like, it was sad. It was sad. It's okay. But now I'm getting notifications. I don't know. Sometimes Streamlabs feels like it doesn't fucking work. Y'all ever know that Streamlabs sometimes it works amazing, way better than Super Chat because we get the vast majority of the money. But sometimes like the comments take a second. All right. We're going to do some behind the scenes talk right now. I'm currently trying to re-log in to see if maybe I refresh. No. I'll have to keep you guys posted on it, but just for now, so no. Let's check in with you guys in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's in here live right now. John Bainbridge, Manny Gonzalez, Jimmy Nails, Glenn Caesar, Hitman Hudson, Lloyd Nance, Christian Hardesty, Matt Munoz, Big B, Steve Cauldron, Star Gonzalez. Hi, Star Babe. Steven Sommers, Garth McMurray, John Bent, Sarah Thomas. What's up, Sarah Thomas? Heyo, heyo. Chris Martinez, all the people, Andrew W., Anarchy 1408, Katie Robinson, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson, Mohammed Belsin, and everybody else. Yeah, Glenn says Roxy sent several Streamlabs hours ago. I don't know what to do about that. You're just not. It's really fucking annoying. Let's see if I can find them in some other place. It's just. I think that. Okay, I'm going to X out. I'm going to retry everything. And we'll see. Hopefully, if I just refresh all of the things, it will make sense. I was getting notifications from Glenn. You know, this is the point of doing a live show. You guys get to see all the inner workings and all the fucked upness. Yeah, it came through. Thanks, my people. There we go. Just took a little love, a little refreshing. Glenn Caesar in the house, the Zen one himself. He said, hello and happy World Girl Sunday, Roxy. Sending well wishes and a thank you for hanging out with us today. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, your dad, Skyjet, Grammy Papo, and your family. Please be most excellent to yourselves and each other, RJ and Rockstars. And I hope you each continue breathing in golden sparkles and bring in love and blow out stress, yucky energy with every inhale and exhale to break apart, remove all types of energetic blockages so you attain balance and get to experience happiness and joy every day. I appreciate that, Glenn. Speaking of breathing in and breathing out, I got COVID tested twice this week. One time on my own accord because I feel like it's my duty when I'm going to weddings and stuff to test before I go do that stuff just to make sure I'm not spreading anything. And then today for the baby shower, before you entered, you had to get tested. So I appreciated that because it made me feel a lot safer. But it's been interesting because it's like I'm fully vaxxed, but it's bizarre that I'm still testing as often as I was before. I'm just trying to do my fucking part. So I get these tests from CVS or Walgreens for $25 for two, and I take them home, and I just do them whenever I'm going to go see my grandparents or whenever I'm going to a wedding or an event like that. And then I also, when I go to work, sometimes they test me or like things like this, they tested me. So I just feel like I'm fucking testing all the time, which I don't mind doing it all. It's so quick, but it's just interesting. I kind of thought once I got vaccinated, I wasn't going to have to be tested anymore. And I'm tested as much, if not more, which is bizarro. Glenn Caesar also says, Roxy and Rockstars and everyone who's battling, thank you for doing so and showing up and being a support for the people around you whenever, however you can. Doing all that stuff, even when it's tough and a challenge, makes you a winner, chicken dinner. Okay, I added that last part, whatever. When you win, we all win. Being unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether it's on the internet or not, as well as being kind, caring, and fully unique, makes you humane, worthy, and a cozy fire to be near. You are marvelous. Priceless treasure and inspiration. Oh, by the way, guys, I have I'll tell you the story after I get through some of these Streamlabs, but I have a wild story about the wedding last night. Somebody called me something that I was like, what the fuck? I was smoking a cigar and they came up to me and said something bizarre. I'll tell you guys in a hot second, but going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Hitman Hudson says, absolutely disgusted by the new Dave Chappelle special. Wow. I wasn't too offended by this last one, but this one crossed the line. Trans people aren't punching down on Black millionaires by calling them out on their nonsense. Interesting take, Hitman Hudson. I feel very differently than you do, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this, and I can't wait to share mine also. This is how the world goes around because we all have different opinions. Lloyd Nance says, hi, Roxy. Happy World Girl Sunday. You're pretty. Thanks, Lloyd. Love you, babe. Hitman Hudson says, also, Gigamagis. I don't know what that means. Bama fans suggested the NCAA should make them replay the game because it was a fluke. And I was like, no mulligans. This isn't golf. Who played what? I don't follow college anything. By the way, the Patriots won today. I didn't watch a single second of the game because I had this baby shower. It's the first time I've watched a game in a long time. It was bizarro to not watch. And I hear that we didn't play very well, but we won anyway. Christian Hardesty in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider says, don't be sad, Roxy. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate your love. Paul 3JP in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider says, don't know who the fuck Keely Jones is. About how can you be in the entertainment industry and not know who that is? It's Juno. Juno plays Keely Jones on Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is the #1 biggest show on the planet right now. If you want to be, I always think it's so fucking crazy about people who are like, I want to be in the entertainment industry. I'm dying to be I'm in the entertainment industry. It's my whole life, but you don't know the biggest female TV star right now. Like Ted Lasso is the biggest show, and she's the star of the show. So bizarro. Absolute, but you look fire, girl. Thank you. Absolute assassin. Bought 2 tickets to the Chili Peppers in LA next July. Gonna play that long game and offer you the other ticket. Got a little less than a year. Let's fucking go. I actually texted my girlfriend today because I don't have an Amex, and the only people who can buy them are Amexes. So I think I'm gonna go with her. Not that I wouldn't go with her anyway, because I would, but I was like, yo, you got an Amex? Let's go. So we got to buy that by the 14th, I think. I'm so excited to go to that concert. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider says, hey, Dimple Tits. Roxy, sounds like you had one whirlwind of a weekend. I hope you enjoyed yourself and had tons of fun. Did you have some of that delicious looking and beautiful cake? No, I had to leave to come do this show before I do our Sunday night show, so I didn't get any of the fucking cake. I'm so sad. I wanted dessert, but I didn't get it. It would be a travesty if you didn't. It was a travesty. Looking super glamorous. Go Pats. Thanks. Appreciate you, Leonard Kim. You guys are fucking awesome. Leonard Kim also says, I meant to ask you last week as well. Have you been catching SNL at all? Mm-hmm. I had no idea what to expect from Kim K, but I actually liked several of the skits last night. The one with the Bachelor thing was so fucking funny. I haven't watched the whole episode yet, but I watched a bunch of the sketches, and I thought her opening monologue was good, but I thought that sketch was so fucking hysterical. I was like laughing out loud at it. It was really good. It was really, really good. So yeah, I was very into it. Thank you to everybody else who's joining in right now. Appreciate all of you guys. Vicious Ocean, Corey Rock, Gene Kelly. Whoa, Gene Kelly. Squid Game is the biggest. You are right. Squid Game on Netflix is the biggest. But it hasn't been around for very long. We're in season 2 of Ted Lasso, and I would say that there's a lot more star power on Ted Lasso, even though Squid Game is fucking amazing and it is the biggest. But Gene Kelly, don't just come in here and be an actually guy, because we don't like those. No, Squid Game is the biggest. Dope, dude. Dope. Good one. You got me. JJ, Ted Lasso is the biggest show since when? It is for sure. Ted Lasso is the most critically acclaimed. One of the most critically acclaimed right now. It won so many fucking Emmys, and it's Apple TV's biggest show. It's one of the biggest shows. What's wrong with you guys today? It's just the fucking facts. You guys are being bizarre. Mariana, Rebecca's the female star of Ted Lasso. What the fuck's up with you guys? Are you guys kidding me today? Actually. All right. Dope, dudes. Dope. You guys are all right. Yeah, I just came on your faces. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. All right, let's talk about, I want to tell this wedding story really quick. And then I want to talk about Dave Chappelle. Plus, Streamlabs in, it's the AMA show. Questions, comments, concerns, send in your questions. I appreciate it. Let me have them. Let me hear them. I want to know what's going on with you guys. Apollo 3JP says, first off, I don't want to be in the industry. I am in the industry. LOL. I'm sorry I didn't know her first name. Should have just said Juno Temple. She's not the main character. Ted Lasso is. Oh my God, you guys are all so annoying. Also, go to the concert with me right next to the stage. Let's fucking go. Not after that. You guys are all so busy trying to correct me that none of you guys are even listening to my fucking point. It's so absurd. So absurd. Okay, so here's what happened at the wedding last night. So there's it was a smaller wedding. It was like an 80-person wedding, and a really close friend of mine who is just fucking awesome. I adore her. And it was we went to college together, and it was a couple of kids that went to our college, and then a couple of my closest friends in Los Angeles. So it was a really small, sweet, awesome, beautiful wedding. At the wedding, there's one single guy there, or maybe there were more single guy, but there was one like main single guy, and he was really handsome and tall. And I actually don't typically tall doesn't like mean anything to me because I'm so short that everybody to me is tall. But I only say that as because like all of the girls, they were like, oh my God, he's so tall and whatever. And he zeroed in on me relatively quickly. I think maybe it's because I don't have a ring on my finger and most of the people that were married or whatever it was, but he started talking to me pretty early in the night. And I was there having a good time with my girlfriends who I haven't seen in a while. So I was honestly not that I was just like icing him, but I was just not interested in really talking to anybody for the night. And he also doesn't live here. So it was just kind of like, what's the fucking point? He lives hours away. But he kept talking to me all night. He seemed like a sweet enough kid. So he, like, when I went to go get food, he would go get food. When I went to go get ice cream, he would go get ice cream. When I would go, whatever I would do, he kind of would come and do. And it was totally fine. He was a sweet person. He was the bride's cousin. So what am I going to do? So I was just like, okay, this guy is perfectly fine. Sweet kid. And then I went outside. My friends Steph and Haley just got married, and I love cigars. I don't know if you guys know that, but I just love to smoke a cigar. I never do it because if you guys can hear the rasp in my throat from having one cigar, like cigars torch me and I have to talk for a living. So that's not great, but I just really like a good cigar. And so there was a cigar rolling station at this wedding that was really, really cool. And they had a vanilla flavored cigar that I was really excited to try. So I went out with my friend Haley, and Haley was smoking a cigar and I was smoking a cigar, and we're sitting down on this bench, and this boy comes out and says to me, can't believe this is what he did. Comes out and he said, "You're smoking a cigar? That's shameless. That's shameless." So Haley, who knew that this guy had been talking to me all night, Haley was like, "I'm going to get inside." Haley gets up to go. I give her the glare, like, "Don't you fucking leave me right now, Haley." She goes inside anyway. I'm like, fucking Haley. So Haley goes inside. Boy comes and sits down. I'm like, why is it shameless that I'm smoking a cigar? He says, like, I just don't know any women who smoke cigars. And I was like, are you being serious right now? He was like, how often do you have a cigar? And I was like, first of all, what the fuck do you care? And second of all, not often. Like when I'm celebrating, we're here at a wedding and there's a cigar rolling station. So I'm going to have one. And I was like, I remember my first cigar was when the Celtics beat the Lakers in game 6 at the Garden and we won the championship. My brother and I split a cigar. I was like 17. I was stoked about it. And ever since then, I just sometimes, if there's a celebratory event, I'll have a cigar. Just like people who like cigars will have a cigar. And he was like, okay. Well, I just think that's kind of shameless. And I was like, I don't understand in what context you're using the word shameless. Like you're using it like that's savage, like it's fine, but like that's your tone of voice, but you're saying the word shameless, which is a mean thing to say to somebody. Like when you're like, oh my God, she's being shameless. I said, have you ever see those videos of two people fucking outside of a like an Applebee's? And he's like, no, where do you find those videos? I was like, I don't know. I'm a person who uses the internet. You've never seen a video of two people fucking in public? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, okay, two random people fucking outside of a Target. That's shameless. Like I'm sitting here smoking a cigar and minding my own business and you're coming over and say, whatever. It was so bizarre. And then he proceeded after that. He was like, okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I used the wrong word. And I was like, no worries. But at this point, I'm like tapped. I don't feel like talking to him anymore. So I go back inside and dancing with my girlfriends. He comes over. He's like, can I dance with you guys? It's like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. But then we were all leaving. And I was like, going to leave. He's like, you're leaving? And it's like, yes. Yes, I'm leaving. What? Did you think I wasn't going to leave? Like, what did you? It was just so fucking weird. I thought that was a bizarre, like, that's shameless. You're fucking shameless. Because I have a vagina, I'm not supposed to have a cigar? What year is this? Like, what? Just, I have not experienced that kind of like blatant weird. Anyway, so that was my story. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send them in. I want to hear from you guys. Let's see. Apollo 3JP says, I don't know, but dude sounds like a fucking mook. I don't even know what that word means, but it sounds like a schmuck. I'd share a Cuban with you any day, Stryer. That's hot as fuck. But like I wasn't smoking a cigar to be hot. I'm like in the corner with my friend, just having a cigar, minding my own fucking business. Also, to the Chappelle haters in the chat, did you actually watch the special? Context matters. People forget that when it's convenient. Okay, not to side with Apollo here, but let's talk a little bit about the Chappelle special. Send in the Streamlabs, send in the super chats, and to preface it, to before I get into the Chappelle thing, just to start this conversation, remember that in life, different people are allowed to be affected by different things and have different opinions. And I am not a part of the trans community. I am a part of the Jewish community, and he came for the Jews in this special as well. And in terms of the LGBTQ community, I don't know. We know I'm on a rainbow somewhere, but I'm not part of the trans community. So it's not mine to be offended at. And if people who are part of the trans community are offended by Chappelle, that's their prerogative. Anybody who's a part of any community that people are speaking on are allowed to like the jokes or dislike the jokes. And that's fucking fine. So I'm not sitting here giving a review trying to convince anybody to feel a certain way. I'm just going to tell you guys how I felt about the Chappelle special, which I thought was fucking hysterical. I have loved Dave Chappelle forever. I think as a businessman, he's incredibly smart. I think that he makes choices that feel right in his soul and not just the money-making choices, although he's fucking rich and privileged, as he talked about in this episode. But I think he does what he does in order to be able to look in the mirror. And does he come for different groups of people harder than others? Yes. As do a lot of comedians. Do every single one of his jokes land all the time? No. But I think he is so provocative, not for the sake of being provocative, but for the sake of being to make us think, and most importantly, to make us laugh, which he really accomplished. I watched this special by myself, talking about The Closer on Netflix, which is going to be his last special for a long time. And I was in tears. I was laughing so hard. I feel like if you are a member of the trans community and you don't like Dave Chappelle already, it was an interesting choice to probably watch the special because he's already shown us he doesn't have boundaries with certain communities. And so I don't know really what people were expecting, why this seemed to be the one that really fucking pushed people over the edge. Because for me, this wasn't any more or less aggressive or edgy or ballsy than any of his other specials. It just was really fucking funny. The shit about Jews that really fucking got me. God, what did he keep saying? That the what Jew? What was it? It was so fucking funny. God, it was so fucking funny. The something Jew. Can you guys remind me what it was? Shit. Whatever it was so fucking funny. And I dig what he's talking about when he's talking about, he also was talking about space Jews. Thank you, Husker. The space Jew shit was so fucking funny. He was also talking about, he told this wild story about somebody who was a slave who then ended up not being a slave and then earned enough money and then bought slaves, and like how people look up to successful people and emulate what they do, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's all they know. And he was talking about that with the Jews as well, how people who are extremely oppressed then sometimes become the oppressors. And while he's doing all that and making me think, and while I don't necessarily agree with all the nuances of what he's saying, It's fucking funny. And to be talking about those things and making them funny, ah, it was just so good. And it sucks. It sucks that some people, I'm not blaming people for this, but it sucks that people think that he is really, they legitimately in their heart of hearts think that he's transphobic. It's not my community, so it's not mine to say. However, based on his comedy, I do not perceive it that way. I do not perceive him to be transphobic. And so, again, it's not mine to feel because I'm not trans, so I don't get to make the choices. But I just think he's funny. I just think he's so funny. And I don't really understand this punching down thing that people keep talking about. And he references it in the special multiple times. And he tells a story about a friend of his named Daphne that was like a gut wrenching, beautifully told, but also hysterical, but also so fucking sad story. And he talks about this concept of punching down a lot. And I don't really get it. I don't really get what it means to punch down when you're Dave Chappelle and you just kind of fucking punch everywhere. Like it's not like he has one group that he's demonized because he's like, these people their rights should be taken away, or so. I don't see it like that. And so I'm having such a hard time grasping why people keep saying he's punching down. I don't get what that means. Is it like you're grasping at low-hanging fruit? Like you're putting down a group that's already been put down? Because I feel like he kind of goes for everybody. He goes for rich people, he goes after poor people, he goes after black people, he goes after Jews, he goes after trans people. He went at the fucking joke about him beating up Asian people in his own body. He went after Asian people. Like it doesn't have to land with everybody, and you don't have to think he's funny. And again, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. Just for me, it was so fucking funny, and it did resonate, and it did make me think, and it did make me laugh. And the fact that people are calling for him to be canceled for this, I don't even know what that means anymore, but uh, I feel like we should say him sticking up for DaBaby the whole time was fucking absurd. It's absurd. But the point that he made, the points that he's making about DaBaby not being canceled for murdering somebody, but being canceled for insulting people. It's just, I agree. I disagree with him that DaBaby shouldn't be canceled necessarily. I'm not saying that he should or shouldn't, but it's just like DaBaby seems like a little shit. He seems like a little fucking shit, but it was funny. What he was saying was funny. And I really needed to laugh in this moment. And he says things that are cringe and make me uncomfortable, but they're thought provoking. He clearly like gives a shit. And who could he talk about that wouldn't be punching down? He's one of the most successful comedians that's ever been. He's extremely rich. Isn't anybody he talks about punching down? If he talks about the Jews, isn't he punching down? Or I still don't get what the fucking phrase means. I don't think I get what it means. So I don't know. I don't know. The internet, I loved when he was talking about Twitter and he said, Twitter seems to want to cancel me, but I don't care because Twitter's not a real place. I forget about this all the time. And sometimes I get a lot of hate in the comments and Twitter and whatever. And like, he's right. It's not a real fucking place. It's not a real place. Twitter's not a real fucking place. So I don't know. Maybe this makes some of you guys dislike me, and that's okay. And we're allowed to disagree. But I feel such a lack of hatred in his heart. I don't feel any hatred in his heart. So it's hard for me to understand where people are coming from with calling him transphobic and saying that he's punching down. It's just, I'm not getting it. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Getting your questions, comments, concerns, your thoughts on the Dave Chappelle special or anything else that you want to talk about. Let's see what's going on in the Streamlabs right now. Coming into the Streamlabs, we've got Glenn Caesar who says, and to change the vibe from weird or whatever is happening, trying to correct Roxy, just wanted to say that I hope you're having a fuck yeah. What was it weird? Having a fuck yeah news kind of day, week, month, or maybe yeah. So if maybe year. If so, congrats on the job, Jimmy Nails. Oh, yay. May you each get to smile and laugh out loud like a child at least once a day today and every single day for the rest of your lives so that you glow in your flow and radiate because your portrait and story of life is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Thanks, Glenn, my dear. Jimmy Nails in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, I've been a fan of Dave's since he was making stoner movies in the 90s. Here's the thing. If it had been a joke, I would take it on the chin because I'm all for it. But he wasn't kidding. He straight up said, I side with TERFs. There was no punchline. I felt it's in a set. So it's hard for me to agree with you that he wasn't making a joke. Like he's on stage, it's stand up. This wasn't him sitting down being interviewed about something and he said something, or like this wasn't him writing a song and it was like he's on stage performing comedy. So for anybody who's on stage performing comedy, again, not debating you, because if that's how you feel, that is how you feel. And that is so your prerogative. But I don't get how that could be considered not a joke when he's a comedian on stage making jokes. Every part that he's doing is a joke. Like it's the same thing as how he said, suck my dick. That part is the punchline. He was saying to all women, he wants to do all these things and then tell them to suck my dick. Just because he says those words doesn't mean it's not a joke. The whole thing's the joke. Is how I feel. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Leonard Kim says, I forgot to ask the most important question. How are you? Thanks, Leonard Kim. I'm doing okay. I like the Bachelor sketch as well, but it was the Aladdin sketch that got me. Not sure why, but I thought it was hilarious. I haven't seen that one yet. Was the vanilla cigar good? At least, yeah, it was, but I only smoked half, so I brought the rest home. So when I want to celebrate, I'll have it. Jimmy Nails in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, and like it or not, people who are bigoted are pointing to him as a justification of bigotry. If you took any of what he said and applied it to another minority, it wouldn't even be a question. It affects the people who hear it. I think it majorly would be a question. I think that's the whole point that he was trying to make with what DaBaby did, that he murdered somebody else and nobody made waves at all. I think to say that if this was about a different minority, especially when he came after the Jews pretty hard in this special also, and Asian people, but the only thing being talked about is the trans community, which, again, the trans community has the absolute right to talk about this. And if they didn't like it, then they don't fucking like it. And if they feel that he is a certain way, then that's totally their prerogative to feel. But I don't think to say if it was any other community, this wouldn't be a question. I don't think that's accurate at all. Kay Black says, I think Dave missed the mark this time. Kay, you seem to be in the majority. I don't feel that way, but I think that you are in the vast majority, Kay. A lot of people seem to be feeling that way. Let's go back into the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Apollo 3JP says, full stop. I'm trying to convince people. Paul, that's silly though, because it's not yours to convince as a cis man. And I'll also tell them they're wrong. Well, you have a lot of maturing to do then, Apollo. We got to stop coddling every group because feelings get hurt. I'm Colombian, bunch of stereotypes there, and they're funny. Roxy, you, me, a Jay, the Chili Peppers, you bad. Jesus Christ, Apollo. We got bigger fish to fry. You got a lot of growing up to do, my kid. Leonard Kim in the Streamlab says, something I've always wondered. Do people in LA often go to beaches during the winter months, mainly December through February? I do not, but I don't usually go to the beach throughout the entire year. So, you know, that's not a me question, but yeah, there are people at the beach, especially when it's like in the 70s or 80s during December, February. Totally. Thanks for asking the question, Lemon Kim. Katie the Good Witch in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer said, I still like you, but I've got to hard disagree. Totally. He should, you're allowed to like me and disagree with my opinion on a piece of art. You know, some people like somebody's art and some people don't like somebody's art. He should be able to say things no one else can just because he's funny and people like him. Punching down is lending rhetoric against already marginalized people, and public rhetoric matters a lot. So, Katie, did you have issues with him talking about Asian people, Jews, trans people, Black people? Do you have issues with him talking about you said it's about marginalized people and all those people are marginalized. So, did you have issues with him talking about all of them? Just curious. That is a genuine question. Because maybe some people just don't like his style of comedy where he goes after all different groups of people. And that's possible. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that's just not that's not your bag. She said, yes, issues with all the categories except the ones he might belong to himself. Okay, so Katie, for you, if a comedian is a part of a marginalized group, they can make fun of that group. But if they are not part of that marginalized group, they shouldn't speak on that group. Is that so you think that Dave Chappelle should be able to talk about, like, be able to poke fun at Black people, but not at Jews and not at trans people, like that kind of thing? I think a lot of people agree with you, Katie, that the only people who should make jokes in a certain area, they need to belong to that area. And, I used to think that not all funny people could make anything funny, but Chappelle has kind of proved me wrong. That I'm like, wow, that's not something funny at all, but you fucking made it funny. And to me, I really think he is making jokes, like straight up jokes, joke after joke after joke. I don't think he has hatred in his heart. I don't know him though, so I could be wrong. But from the sense that I get, I think it's all jokes. That doesn't mean that you think it's right, which again, you're more than allowed to feel. So interesting conversation that the internet is having on this. This is a much nicer conversation that we're having, and you guys, I love how you guys have different opinions, and I think that those are completely valid. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Questions, comments, concerns, anything about the Chappelle special or whatever it is that's going on in the world, let me know. I'm curious from you guys who has watched the special. Send hearts if you liked the special. Send bunnies if you did not. So hearts if you liked Chappelle's Netflix special. Bunnies if you did not. Hearts for you loved the special. Bunnies for you did not enjoy the special. Very, very curious how you guys feel. Okay, Intelligent Cycle liked it. Tachyon the Source liked it. Yosef liked it. Vicious Ocean liked it. Vicious Ocean put glasses in the middle. Sean Quinn, Jermaine King, and Jeremy Miller liked it. Ooh, interesting. Mohammed Balsine said undecided. I think that's okay too. Sometimes we watch things and we're like, I don't know how I fucking felt about that. Garth did not like it. Jay liked it. Joseph liked it. Dee Dee liked it. K Black did not like it. Big B liked it. Ruma liked it. Marion liked it. I wonder, Malcolm both sent bunnies and hearts. So Malcolm maybe undecided as well. Maybe undecided also. Katie sent a bunny and a question mark and said it was funny, but I didn't love some of the content. So there's parts of it that you liked and parts of it that you thought went too far. Hitman with bunnies. Christian sent chicks. Don't know what that means. John liked it. Greasy liked it. So based on the people in here, seems like a lot more of you guys liked it than disliked it. But based on the people I've seen on the internet, it seems like a lot more people disliked it than liked it. I also think that people who didn't watch it shouldn't really speak on it because I'm seeing so many people say this part where blah, blah, and then they describe the part wrong. And it's like, did you see it? Like, I don't know if you should speak on something you didn't see. Andrew W. said undecided. A lot of undecided people. Christian says, oh, I haven't seen it yet. Just trying to mix it up. Fair. Very fair. Very, very fair. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I know it's a weird time to share your thoughts on anything because we're all scared of being ostracized and pissing people off. And I don't want anybody, by me coming on here saying how I felt about somebody else's art, to assume that I feel any kind of way. As you guys know, I love my brothers and sisters and non-binary friends in the LGBTQ community. I would never want them to feel hurt or more marginalized by something. And the fact that a lot of people that are members of that community do fucking sucks. That's just fucking sad. Also, two truths can be true at once. I also thought the special was really funny. And for me, it made me do a lot of thinking. And I especially like the parts about my own community, because when people come for the Jews in a funny way and not in a way filled of hatred, I think it's funny. Apollo 3JP in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider said, if the rule is you can only comment on the group you're a part of, then congrats, you just ruined art. Oh my God, Apollo. Can you ever be like more sensitive in the way you speak? The way you speak is just so harsh. You sound like me when I was a kid. Like everything was black and white. And there's a lot of gray in the world, my dude. You're also living in fantasy land, not how the world works, unfortunately. And Stryer, I'm a grown man. Let me prove it. You bad. The way you speak is like a child, to be honest. It's really how I feel. Garth Harkness McMurray says, people laugh at many jokes a comedian says, picking on different groups until it hits them personally. They're fine with racist and sexist jokes until someone makes rape jokes and they have been raped. So I can see how trans people can be offended. That's an interesting way of putting it. We are going to get out of here relatively soon, my friends, as we've been here for almost 45 minutes at this point. So send in your questions, comments, concerns, any more thoughts on this. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Thank you guys for talking with me about this. And for the most part, staying respectful of one another, remembering that the people who are members of the community that are marginalized are the ones who get to feel the most about any of these things. And the rest of us, if we have anything to say, have to acknowledge that it's not really our place to feel good or bad about something. We can just say how it made us feel or what it made us feel, which was that I thought it was funny. So much love to all of our friends in every different walk of life. And I would recommend this special to people with extremely thick skin who like Dave Chappelle already. We kind of know what we're getting with Chappelle at this point. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Let's see what else is going on in here before we get out of here. This one's coming in from Glenn Caesar, who says, may you breathe in golden sparkles of love as you inhale and blow out the stress and yucky energy wherever you need to in each of your days, your weeks, months, and even your years. Remember, we're all still alive, so be you, a sparkling diamond. Thanks, Glenn. Brennan Marr in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider says, I appreciate your insights, Roxy. Thanks, Brennan Marr. I appreciate all of your guys' insights. You guys are awesome. Apollo 3JP says, I mean, fair enough. Respect that opinion. It's marginalizing me, but I'm cool with that. I keep it moving. What is marginalizing you? Based on your words, you sound very young. I don't know how that's marginalizing you. Okay, I'm done. Also, I have had this convo with people in the LGBTQ community, and it was a great convo. I'm glad that you had a great convo. Leonard Kim, the Streamlab says, I know you've been busy, so I understand if you haven't had the time, but have you started to watch any Halloween-themed shows or movies? I have to get on that myself. Rolling on the floor laughing. I only watched the new Mike Flanagan show, Midnight Mass. I don't know even if you consider that a Halloween thing, but it's horror, so I watched that. And I'm going to see with Steph and D. We're seeing Halloween on Tuesday, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. Sir Joker 40, my BFFS says, Roxy, BFFR, I love you in elf voice. Oh, I sang in a different voice. Lil Sissy, be an anomaly. Thanks, Sir Joker. Appreciate you, my dude. You rock. Wade West, let's see. And the super chat says the special was great in my opinion, but if someone was offended, I wouldn't dismiss that feeling. Wait, I feel the exact same way. To me, it landed and was fucking funny. And I'm also not a piece of shit. So any of the jokes that were risque, like I don't ever look at this as a reason for me to be able to hate a group of people. I look at it as funny and then I move on. I would never like cite this or quote this as a reason to hate people in any community. So the people who look at it like that probably were already pieces of shit in the first place. So yeah, but you're right, not to dismiss that feeling because if they feel that way, that's how they fucking feel, and it makes sense because it's already marginalized groups of people that already feel sensitive and hurt, and they feel that pain, which I get. A lot of times when people make Jewish jokes, I think they're really not fucking funny. His Jewish jokes happen to be funny. So the only reason I think that his Jewish jokes work is because they were really fucking funny. And when other people try to make jokes about Jews and they're not funny, I'm like, well, you just tried to make a joke about Jews, but it wasn't even fucking funny. So, yes. Ryan Payne says jokes towards any group or subject can be viewed as funny when they're told a certain way. If people laugh at the joke and then it's overlooked. But there's always one person who won't. Nothing changes. Interesting, Ryan Payne. Agreed with that. All right, my friends, let's get out of here. Thank you to everybody in here, to Manny Gonzalez and Jermaine King, Brittany Parker, Sir Joker 40, Mumra the Everling, Glenn Caesar, Sean Quinn, Joseph Ashley, Andrew Thomas, Zozo, The Vicious Ocean, Jimmy Nails, Jeremy Miller, Sean, already give you a shout out, but there's another one, Redford Reddington, Malcolm, Red Sands, Andrew W., Rainbow Dragon, Katie Robinson, Jake Yakavetta, Marlon Jefferson, John McCoy, Kay Black, Turnstile of Ronan, and everybody else who showed up to have a friendly discourse. I appreciate all of you guys. Brennan Mystical Mar, George Pruitt, Zishan Ajib. Sorry that I butcher names for a living, my dear. Much love to all of you guys. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those plumes. Make your bed. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Brett, Miles, Jonathan, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. And I will see you tonight for the World Girls as we talk all things sex, love, relationships, and have a special guest on to do so. It's World Mental Health Day, so take care of yourself. Give yourself that extra squeeze, that love that you need. And I'll see you at 7 p.m. youtube.com/The World Girls or right here tomorrow live at the Roxy. Later.